We have a few questions for you. I think the first one is, so we try to make independent media here in Holland for
That's
4
all good.
years already.
Yeah.
And we've covered subjects like political scandals, financial world, banking, chemtrails. There's also a case of alleged pedophilia in the top of the Justice
Yeah, I've
Department
come across
here,
that. Yeah, I've come across that.
here in Holland. But we also covered the Bilderberg, and we made a recent documentary on 15 years after 9/11.
Okay.
After studying your work, so you could say these are all solitary events, but
Yeah.
basically what you're saying is that there's a system behind
Yeah.
all of these aspects. How can we communicate this to people?
Well, first of all, we get informed, and then we find a simple way of doing it. And it can be done simply. I mean, see, people think that you can't have a conspiracy by a few to control the many, because people would know. But not the way it works, you wouldn't. Not least in the way, as I go into in the books and in the talking events, how people go through a lifetime of perception programming for a start, literally from cradle to grave, which gives them a very narrow band of life, the world, possibility, everything. I call it the postage stamp consensus. And this is the basis on which science works, quantum physics apart to an extent, on which medicine works, politics works, media works. They're all on this postage stamp consensus of this is how the world is, this is what's possible, this is what's not possible. And if you start from the premise, which all those things do, not least the media, that a conspiracy, not just a major global conspiracy like I'm talking about, but conspiracies just in general don't happen. They're all theories. And then when you say to them, you know, you talk about conspiracy theory and conspiracy theorists, yeah. Do you know where that came from? Well, no, it came from the CIA. Its widespread use of those terms, conspiracy theorist and conspiracy theory, came from the CIA in the 1960s. The documents are there to show it. They encouraged major media organizations in America to use those terms to discredit those people who had half a brain cell on active duty and could see that the official story of the Kennedy assassination in '63 and those that followed, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Bobby Kennedy, clearly were in some way connected, and clearly the official story of Kennedy is a joke, the magic bullet and all that stuff, which goes round corners. And so, you know, someone can be shot in the front of the head by someone with a gun, you know, way behind him. Yeah, you know, U-turn bullets. I mean, it's just madness. So they had to try to discredit it. So what the questioning, so they came up with this thing about conspiracy theory, conspiracy theorists. So to explain how it's done in a simple way, or how it can be done, is to break through those barriers of it's impossible, it can't be done. And it's a real simple structure. It has to be simple or it wouldn't work. You've got what I call the spider in the center of the web, the global web. That is absolutely in the hidden. No one ever sees that. And then if you use the analogy of the spider's web, the strands immediately around the spider in the center, they're the most exclusive secret societies. They are the real people deep in the shadows who know the big picture. Then you keep coming out, and you then hit the secret societies we do know, we've heard of. We don't know about them that much, but we know of them. Things like the Freemasons, the Opus Dei, the inner sanctum of the Jesuit order, the Knights Templar, the Knights of Malta, etc. And then you keep coming out, and eventually you meet what I call the cusp organizations. They're at that point in the web where the hidden meets the seen. And these are your Bilderberg groups, Council on Foreign Relations, Trilateral Commission, Club of Rome. They're, of course, to manipulate environment to justify transformation of society. And those cusp groups, and there are others, but they're the best known, they take this agenda dictated from the hidden, and they play it out into the scene. And by the scene, I mean governments, government departments, the banking system, corporations, the global media, etc. And all these organizations, to answer the immediate question, well, someone would spill the beans. Well, actually, one or two people do, but not that many, for reasons I'm going to explain. All these organizations I'm talking about, in the hidden and in the scene, are fiercely compartmentalized. I mean, you look at a secret society like the Freemasons. Most Freemasons in the world are on the bottom 3 levels of degree. There's 33 in the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. And the 33rd degree of the Scottish Rite isn't really the top, it's only the official top. They go up into other pyramids above that. And each level of degree only gets to know what knowledge is available at that level, and you only get to the next level when that level invites you to join, and so on. And even as you go up the pyramid of the 33 degrees, the knowledge keeps changing. You know, oh yeah, well, we told you that in that level because, you know, we've got to hide the real stuff. This is the real stuff now. Oh no, we actually wasn't quite right. We told you this is the real stuff, and so it goes on. So it's basically the mushroom effect of keep them in the dark and feed them bullshit, you know, compartmentalization. So the vast majority of people, even in a secret society, do not know what that secret society is really about. They only know their bit. In a town where I live, on the Isle of Wight in England, a few years ago, the local Freemasons everywhere on the Isle of Wight, it's ridiculous, they run the place. But they had an open day, show open they are, and I went along, a public open day, and I talked to some of these people. One of them had been a Freemason for over 30 years, hadn't got a clue what Freemasonry was about. I was asking him what the symbols meant on the windows and the walls, just, you know, to see what what he'd say. He said, "Oh, I've no idea." He said, "It's all lost in antiquity." It's not, but it's just lost to you, because they don't tell you what it really means. And so all these organizations are like that. You come into the realm of the scene, you go into a government agency, it's compartmentalized. The vast majority of people in the CIA and the FBI don't know what that organization's really used for, and what it's really a vehicle for. So this is how it works. And when you put that together with this program perception of everything that people go through the education system and life and media, etc. What's actually going on in the world, and now everything is connected, is understandably missed by most people, vast majority of people, and those who are told about it, most of them go, not possible. It is, you know, through this web, where the direction of society is coming out from the hidden. By the time it hits the scene, no one knows where it's come from. What do people say when they're told, we're going to do this now? Oh, they say, oh, it's come from on high, I suppose we better do it. Well, what I started asking is, what is this on high? And what's the on high for the on high for the on high? Where's it lead? And this is how it comes about. But the idea is that you only see the strands, you don't see the web. Seeing the web is key to everything, because once you see the web, everything falls into place.